The sun rises slowly over the quiet village in Hampshire, England. Soft light touches the old stone cottages and green fields. A light mist floats over the grass, making everything look magical. Birds begin to sing, their sweet songs filling the air. A robin hops on a garden fence, and a blackbird flies across the sky. The trees move gently in the breeze. A small stream flows softly nearby, its water sparkling in the early light. The village is still and calm. Smoke curls up from a chimney as someone makes tea. Flowers open their petals to the sun. A cat stretches on a doorstep. The world feels new, quiet, and full of peace. It is a dream-like morning, soft and slow, where time feels like it stands still. A wooden gate creaks gently as the wind moves it. Bees begin to buzz near the hedgerows. In the distance, sheep quietly graze on a soft green hill. A horse snorts gently in a nearby stable. The smell of fresh grass and morning dew fills the air. A cobblestone path winds through the village, still empty, still calm. A soft light shines on old church windows, making them glow. Birds fly low over the thatched roofs, wings shining in the sun. A gentle bell chimes from the clock tower, echoing softly across the valley. Ducks waddle near the pond, leaving ripples behind them. A child's laugh is heard faintly from a cottage garden. The whole village feels like a peaceful dream, quiet and warm, as the morning slowly begins. A soft cloud drifts across the pale blue sky. Wildflowers sway along the edge of a quiet lane. A butterfly flutters from petal to petal, calm and slow. The village bakery opens, and the smell of fresh bread floats through the air. A soft clink of milk bottles echoes as the milkman walks by. Ivy climbs up old stone walls, glowing green in the light. A squirrel scurries along a branch, then pauses to look around. A gentle breeze carries the sound of distant birds deeper into the village. An old bicycle leans against a garden wall, still and waiting. The air feels cool but kind. Time seems to stretch, quiet and golden. Nothing rushes. Nothing hurries. It is a morning full of stillness, soft beauty, and the gentle music of nature. A soft ray of sunlight shines through a lace curtain. Inside a cottage, a kettle whistles gently. A sleepy dog lifts its head, then settles back down. A light tap of footsteps is heard on the gravel path. Dewdrops sparkle like tiny stars on every leaf. A wood pigeon coos from a nearby oak tree. The village green is empty, calm, with benches waiting in the quiet. A little boat rocks slowly by the river bank, tied to a wooden post. Chimneys let out thin trails of smoke into the cool sky. An old man tips his hat as he walks his dog. The sound of a distant tractor hums low across the fields. A fox slips quietly through the hedgerow, unseen but peaceful. The village breathes slowly, wrapped in morning light. Everything feels safe, gentle, and full of quiet wonder. The sun rises higher, casting long shadows across the cobblestone streets. A robin lands on a wooden fence, its bright chest glowing in the soft light. The leaves rustle as the wind whispers through the trees. A small family of ducks waddles across the village pond, their tiny feet leaving little ripples. The village church bell rings the hour, its sound deep and rich, filling the air. A soft laughter echoes from a nearby garden, where children are playing. The smell of fresh flowers drifts from the window boxes. A bicycle bell rings lightly as it passes by, its rider waving hello to a neighbor. The tall grass sways gently, creating a soothing rhythm. A single cloud floats lazily overhead, casting a gentle shadow on the village below. The world feels still, yet full of life, as if every moment is carefully unfolding in perfect harmony. It's a peaceful, timeless morning, where everything fits together just right. The sun climbs higher, bathing the village in a warm golden light. The breeze picks up, causing the branches of the willow tree to sway, their leaves whispering secrets to each other. A cart slowly rumbles down the lane, its wheels creaking with each turn. A patch of lavender by the cottage door releases its calming scent, mixing with the fresh earthiness of the morning. A small rabbit hops through the grass, pausing to nibble on a dandelion. The river glistens as it winds through the village, its gentle flow creating soft ripples that catch the light. A group of sparrows flutter through the air, chirping happily as they gather in the trees. An old wooden bench sits under an archway of ivy, inviting anyone to sit and soak in the peaceful scene. The distant sound of church bells peals again, this time joined by the faint hum of bees busy in the gardens. It's a moment of stillness, yet full of gentle movement, where the earth seems to breathe with quiet joy. The morning light deepens, casting a soft, warm glow over the rooftops. A gentle breeze stirs the flags hanging from a nearby inn, making them flutter lazily. A small wooden boat drifts down the stream, its oar moving slowly with the current. A pair of swans glide gracefully across the pond, their feathers shining in the light. The scent of fresh-cut grass fills the air as a gardener carefully tends to the rose bushes. A couple of sparrows land on a garden wall, pecking at the crumbs left from breakfast. The village streets are quiet, except for the soft clink of a milk jug being placed on a doorstep. A peaceful silence surrounds everything, broken only by the occasional song of a distant bird, or the faint sound of a door opening. The earth feels alive, yet calm, as though everything is unfolding at its own gentle pace. It's a morning wrapped in softness, where time seems to move in slow motion, and every moment is filled with a quiet beauty. The morning fog lifts slowly, revealing the soft contours of the hills beyond the village. The air feels cool and fresh, with a hint of wildflowers carried on the breeze. A crow caws softly from the top of a nearby tree, its dark silhouette standing out against the lightening sky. A wooden gate swings open with a gentle creak, revealing a path lined with tall ferns. The sound of a distant lawnmower hums faintly, cutting through the calm stillness. A mother bird feeds her chicks in a nest tucked in the eaves of a house. The low hum of bees grows louder as they move from flower to flower, gathering nectar for the day. A man in a tweed jacket walks his dog down the lane, stopping to chat with a neighbor as they share a quiet moment. The soft rustle of paper, as a morning newspaper is delivered to a doorstep, adds to the peaceful rhythm of the morning. The sun rises higher, painting the sky in soft shades of pink and orange. The air feels crisp, carrying the earthy scent of freshly plowed fields. A lazy breeze dances through the garden, causing the chimes on the porch to tinkle softly. A squirrel hops down from a tree and scurries along the stone wall, pausing every so often to look around. The village lane is still, except for the occasional creak of a wooden gate opening, welcoming the day. A pair of pigeons coo from the top of a tall chimney, their soft sounds blending with the quiet of the morning. The garden is alive with the colors of blooming flowers, their petals bright against the green grass. A child's bicycle leans against a wall, its basket filled with wild flowers picked from the meadow. The smell of fresh coffee floats out from a cottage window, mingling with the scent of warm bread from the bakery down the road. Sunlight begins to spill through the trees, casting golden patterns on the ground. A lady in a straw hat waters her garden, her watering can glinting in the light. The petals of daisies and poppies sway gently, as if nodding to the breeze. A gentle splash is heard as a fish jumps in the village pond, sending tiny ripples across the glassy water. A dog barks once in the distance, then all is quiet again. A boy sits on a fence, swinging his legs and watching clouds drift lazily across the sky. The sound of a window opening echoes softly, followed by the clinking of cups being set for breakfast. A path lined with bluebells leads into the woods, where birds call out softly from the branches. The bakery bell jingles as someone steps inside for warm bread and honey. A horse grazes quietly in the meadow, its tail flicking in the slow morning sun. A woman hums as she hangs linen to dry, the sheets catching the breeze like sails. Everything feels gentle, natural, and kind. The sky turns a soft blue, brushed with wisps of white cloud like feathers in the air. A soft rustle comes from the hedgerow as a hedgehog noses through the leaves. An old clock ticks quietly inside a nearby cottage, steady and calm. Light flickers through ivy-covered windows, dancing on wooden floors. A pair of wrens flit between the branches, their wings beating fast, their chirps high and sweet. Far off, a tractor hums gently across a golden field, its sound low and comforting. A jar of wildflowers sits on a windowsill, catching the morning sun. The scent of jam and toast drifts from an open kitchen door. A cat curls up on a chair beside the fire, paws tucked beneath its belly, dreaming peacefully. Bees drift lazily between foxgloves and forget-me-nots, buzzing like tiny lullabies. The distant church bell chimes again, each note slow and soft, like a heartbeat in the quiet. A farmer waves from his cart as he passes, the wheels crunching gently over gravel. Sunlight filters through apple trees, casting soft shadows on the orchard grass. A pair of doves perch on a stone wall, their feathers puffed up in the cool morning air. A lace curtain flutters gently in the breeze, moving like a quiet sigh. The sound of a broom sweeping a doorstep can be heard, steady and soothing. In the distance, a windmill slowly turns, creaking softly in the wind. A foxglove sways beside a garden gate, brushed lightly by a passing bee. A little girl walks barefoot along the path, carrying a basket of eggs, her footsteps nearly silent. The air smells of damp earth and sweet blossoms. A stream bubbles quietly beneath a small wooden bridge, its water clear and full of light. The rooftops glow golden in the sun, their chimneys reaching into the sky like sleepy towers. An old man tends his roses, humming softly to himself. Birds dip and dive over the open fields, painting lines in the sky with their wings. A gentle hush settles over everything. The tall grass by the meadow edge sways like waves in the breeze, brushing gently against an old wooden fence. A lady pushes open her cottage door, her teacup warming her hands as she steps into the sun. A dragonfly hovers over the pond, wings glinting like tiny glass windows. Far across the hills, the call of a distant cuckoo echoes faintly, rising and falling like a lullaby. Chickens peck quietly in the yard, their feathers catching hints of light with every movement. The postman strolls down the lane with a gentle smile, his leather bag bouncing softly at his side. A low stone wall is dotted with moss and tiny yellow flowers, blooming where no one planted them. The smell of fresh hay mixes with the soft scent of lavender carried on the wind. A toddler giggles as she chases bubbles through the grass, the soft pops mixing with the sound of birdsong. The old innkeeper opens the shutters of the village pub, letting light fall across the wooden tables inside. The wind whispers through the tall elms, their leaves shimmering like silver coins in the light. A soft clatter of porcelain comes from a breakfast table by an open window, where steam curls up from a pot of tea. A pair of lambs trot after their mother in the field beyond, their tiny bleats light and sweet. Sunbeams drift down like golden threads, wrapping the village in warmth. The cobblestones feel smooth under careful footsteps, still damp with morning dew. A butterfly rests on a windowsill, wings opening and closing slowly as if breathing. The sound of gentle laughter comes from behind a garden hedge, where friends share stories among the flowers. A wind chime sings softly on a cottage porch, its notes drifting like petals on the air. A young couple walks hand in hand beneath a canopy of blooming trees, their voices quiet and full of ease. Even the clouds seem to pause, floating slowly over the hills as if they too are admiring the view. A robin sings from the top of a garden spade, its tune clear and cheerful in the calm air. Sunlight glows through stained glass windows of the old village church, painting soft colors on the grass below. A baker leans on his doorway, wiping flour from his hands as the scent of warm pastries drifts out. A gentle knock echoes on a cottage door as a neighbor brings fresh eggs in a wicker basket. Horses stand quietly in the paddock, tails swishing slowly, eyes half closed in the golden light. A gentle rustle comes from the hedgerow as a family of rabbits darts through the underbrush. A breeze carries the faint melody of a distant flute, played by someone hidden beyond the trees. A lantern swings lightly on a hook by the inn, moving to the rhythm of the wind. The sky is now bright and open, a pale blue canvas brushed with cottony clouds. A child tosses pebbles into the pond, each one sending out circles that ripple quietly toward the reeds. A soft echo of footsteps drifts down the lane as a young girl walks with a basket of herbs, each step light and unhurried. The sun catches the shimmer of spider webs stretched between branches, each thread twinkling like silk. A weathered scarecrow stands watch over the quiet garden, its old hat tipped gently by the breeze. The distant bleating of sheep rolls across the hills like a gentle song. A door creaks open as an old woman steps onto her porch, a hand-knitted shawl draped over her shoulders, her eyes calm and kind. A bumblebee lands on a daisy, its tiny wings buzzing softly in the hush. Birds soar in slow circles above the church spire, wings spread wide against the pale sky. The bell tower chimes again, slow and steady, like a heartbeat that belongs to the land. A black cat stretches across a sunny patch of stone, eyes blinking lazily in the light. A pot of stew bubbles softly inside a cottage, its smell mingling with rosemary and thyme from the garden. A soft tapping sound comes from the cobbler's shop, as he gently works on a worn leather boot, each tap steady and slow. A swallow dips and weaves through the air, its flight graceful and free. A little wooden sign swings above the tea-house door, creaking now and then with the breeze. A white curtain billows from an open window, fluttering like a slow breath. The village dog trots happily down the lane, stopping to greet familiar faces with a wag of his tail. The garden gate squeaks as someone steps out carrying a basket of fresh-picked apples, their red skins glowing in the sun. A breeze rustles the ivy on old stone walls, sending tiny leaves tumbling across the path. A faint whistle echoes from the woods, a tune played without rush, just for the joy of it. The blacksmith hums as he works, the glow from his forge casting soft flickers on the walls of his workshop. A farmer's cart rolls by, filled with hay and vegetables, wheels crunching gently on the gravel. The soft clang of a distant gate echoes through the valley, followed by the quiet lowing of cows, moving slowly across a pasture. A sunhat rests forgotten on a bench beneath a tree, shaded by branches heavy with blossoms. A pair of children skip stones by the brook, their laughter light and echoing like wind chimes. A goldfinch flutters onto a fence post, tilting its head curiously before singing a sweet little tune. A breeze carries the scent of wood smoke and wild mint, weaving through the village like a soft thread. The blacksmith's cat naps in a patch of sun by the door, paws stretched out, perfectly still. Far off, a train whistle sounds once, low and gentle, as if even it knows not to disturb the quiet. Bees move like slow dancers through the orchard trees, their hum like a lullaby. An old bicycle leans against a stone wall, its basket filled with warm bread wrapped in cloth. Sunlight pools and puddles left from